What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, February 9th, and in this video, we're going to be going over the best plays over on the PrizePicks board for tonight's 10-game NBA slate. It is the day after the Super Bowl. I'm a New England Patriots fan because I live right outside of Boston. I am extremely sad. I hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl last night. If you guys are new to the channel, my name's TJ, like I just mentioned, and in these videos, I build out 6 flex slips on PrizePicks. We also check out the Betr board and build out 5 flex slips over on Betr because those are mathematically the 2 best slip types that you can possibly enter on each of those DFS apps, and we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later in the video. We're going to be utilizing a tool called the Upside Tools Fantasy Player Props Optimizer. We're going to be looking at this tool to help us find the most profitable plays in real time over on PrizePicks and on Betr. PrizePicks and Betr both operate as fixed payout platforms. Again, we'll go over an example on PrizePicks, and I'll explain that a little bit more. So if you are new to the channel, if you want free slips and you also want to learn why you should be taking specific player props on PrizePicks and Betr, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Please, really helps out the channel. Also, if this video does get 50 likes, I will be doing a $50 giveaway on my next video. And most importantly, probably the most important thing, make sure you turn on that notification bell. So whenever I do post these daily videos, if you want to be able to tail the PrizePicks slip and the Betr slip, that's going to give you the best opportunity to do so before any of these plays in the slips that we're building get bumped or removed. You guys know that PrizePicks and Betr bump all the time. This tool shows us the best plays in real time, and a lot of these plays have a really large edge or a small edge, but still an edge where PrizePicks and Betr need to adjust that specific player prop, and they will do so. I can guarantee you every single slip that I build out on these videos are going to get bumped and removed in some capacity. So before we jump into building out slips on PrizePicks, let's go ahead and talk about the 10 games that we have on slate for tonight. We have the Charlotte Hornets, maybe the hottest team in the NBA right now, hosting the Detroit Pistons. Detroit 2.5-point road favorites. We got a 222.5 over under. We have the Bulls traveling to play the Nets. Chicago are 4.5-point road favorites. We got a 219.5 over under. We have the Heat hosting the Jazz. Miami 7.5-point home favorites. 240.5 over under. That's a massive over under. We have the Orlando Magic hosting the Bucks. Orlando 10.5-point home favorites, 219.5 over under. We have the Timberwolves hosting the Atlanta Hawks. Minnesota 6.5-point home favorites. Another pretty large over under, 238.5 over under. We have the Pelicans hosting the Kings. New Orleans are 7.5-point home favorites, 230.5 over under. We have the Nuggets hosting the Cavs, another massive over under. Denver 1.5-point home favorites, 239.5 over under there. Warriors and Grizzlies, Golden State 8.5-point home favorites, 222.5 over under. We have the Lakers hosting the Thunder, OKC 6.5-point road favorites, 223.5 over there for the over-under. And then we have the Trailblazers hosting the 76ers, who I feel like have been on a West Coast road trip forever. Philly 2.5-point road favorites, 228.5 over under. Let's go ahead and give the PrizePicks board a quick refresh. And now what we're going to do is talk about Upside. So Upside, this tool that we're going to be using again is the Fantasy Player Props Optimizer. I talked about it a little bit. It compares sportsbook lines and odds back to various DFS apps like PrizePicks and Betr that use fixed payouts. So what I'm going to actually do here is build out the slip. Then we're going to talk about why we're taking these specific player props. I got to go ahead and give this a quick refresh, make sure we have the most updated information here. I'm going to throw on a couple filters. We're going to add our required sportsbooks to FanDuel, and we are going to hide push. We might use a push prop to start, actually. If we have one that looks really good, this Danny Wolf play looks decent. I want to go ahead and scan the board and see if there's anything here where we're getting a 0.5 edge. I don't hate this Dominic Barlow play. He is set to 5.5 across books. The ones that he is at 6.5, they're heavily juiced on the under. Again, we're getting this at 6. And I like this better than Collier and Danny Wolf. So let's go ahead and start with Dominic Barlow. Under 6 rebounds. And now what I want to do is filter out push props. I don't want to have too many push props in this slip. We got Ben Sarif under points and rebounds. And again, guys, I'm just going to use this tool to help show me the best value in real time. We're going to go build directly off the top of this tool, building down. We got Isaac Okoro over 9.5 points. I don't think I've ever seen Okoro's point line this high before. Over 9.5 points. We have Jaden Ivey over 12.5 points. Now, I don't want to take Ivy and Okoro because they're both on Chicago. So let's go ahead and take Ivy. I like that his odds are a little bit higher on FanDuel. He's also set one higher on Sleeper, Fliff, 0.5 higher on Dabble. You know what? Let's save Ivy for better. Let's take Okoro here. Let's skip over Ivy. We can add Sexton, another new Chicago Bull, because they have 1,000 of them, over RA to pair with our Okoro. Okoro did just get bumped to 9.5 actually. So we're going to remove Ivy, or we're going to remove Okoro, excuse me. We're going to add Ivy at 12.5 points. You guys can see PrizePicks is updating all these player props because we're getting an edge on a lot of these, and that's why they're going back and making sure that we're not getting an edge. Let's add Jalen Suggs over 5.5 assists. That looks pretty solid as well. Is it up here still? Do I see it? Do we see it? There we go. And then let's give this a quick refresh. We have ooh, I didn't add this. Jake LaRavia under RA. Jake, I spelled that completely wrong, didn't I? Jake LaRavia under 6.5 RA. Okay, so this is the 6 flex slip. And again, we're going to talk about why we're taking these plays specifically on PrizePicks. We have Dominic Barlow under 6 rebounds. Ben Sarif under 8.5 points in rebounds. Colin Sexton over 6.5 RA. Jaden Ivey over 12.5 points. Jalen Suggs over 5.5 assists. Jake LaRavia under 6.5 RA. So the reason that we're building out these slips over on PrizePicks is because PrizePicks is a fixed payout platform. So when you're playing on PrizePicks, it doesn't matter if you're taking more or less on these player prop projections, your payout's always going to remain the same. Now, in some cases, if you use demons or goblins or you positively correlate in sports like NFL, NHL, yes, you will get a payout shift. But specifically in the NBA, in 99.9% of cases, doesn't matter what you're taking, your payout stays the same on these regular more or less props. So I have Jokic rebounds and Harden assists. We all know that in a two-man power, you get a 3 times payout, okay? Doesn't matter if I take Jokic more rebounds, Harden more assists. If I change them to less, my payout stays the same. So in a two-man power, we always get a 3 times payout, which means we get, so if I put $1 down, I get 3 times in return. I get $3 in return or 3 times. So that means my total profit would be $2, which means my total parlay odds are plus 200. Each individual leg inside the slip is minus 137 odds, okay? That happens every single time in a two-man power. Every single time you're playing a two-man power, each individual leg is equivalent to minus 137 odds if you're taking regular more or less props. Now, on a sports book, if you take more or less, you have odds associated to the over and the under. On PrizePicks, it's fixed. So again, if I change Jokic from more to less, still get a 3 times payout. If I change Harden from more to less, I still get a 3 times payout. If I do that on a traditional sports book like FanDuel or DraftKings, my odds are going to vary in my actual parlay odds, my slip, because there's odds associated to the more and the less on a traditional sports book, where on PrizePicks, again, it's fixed. It doesn't change. So because of this, we're able to figure out the math on the back end and calculate what we're getting in every single slip type and what odds we're getting for each individual leg in every single slip. The 6 flex slip is mathematically the best slip type that you can enter on PrizePicks. Each individual leg inside our 6 flex slip is equivalent to minus 118 odds. In a two-man power, it's equivalent to minus 137 odds. So we're getting way better return playing 6 flex slips, not only in the odds we're getting for each individual leg, but the actual slip that we're getting paid out. Yes, of course, it's harder to hit a 6 flex slip and go 6 for 6 than it is a two-man power. But mathematically, the ROI that you'll see playing 6 flex slips in the long run on PrizePicks will be far greater than two-man powers. And like I mentioned, this tool does all the heavy lifting for you by comparing sportsbook lines and odds and where they're setting their odds directly back to these various DFS apps that use fixed payouts to show you the best plays in real time. It updates every single second. It's an extremely useful tool. If you guys want to check it out and get signed up with Upside, there is a link in the description below. You can get 5 days free to try out this tool. 5 days free of charge. As long as you cancel before your 5 days is up. If you don't want to continue your subscription, you will not be charged. If you want to continue your subscription, obviously you will opt in to a subscription. But again, if you want to test it out for free, 5 days free of charge, you can cancel before your 5 days are up. You will not be charged. There's a link in the description below. You can also use my code TJYT to get 25% off your first purchase. So that's the PrizePicks slip. Again, we have it. Barlow under rebounds. Sarif under points and rebounds. Sexton over RA. Jaden Ivey over points. Jalen Suggs over assists. LaRavia under RA. Now let's check out Betr. Really good value on Betr. Now, unfortunately, Better's mobile presence is dead. or excuse me, their website presence is now dead. So I have to go on my phone to build out this Betr slip and then throw it into Discord so that you guys can then see the actual slip, but we're going to build directly off of the top. So I'm going to add in my first leg over on Betr as Banchero under 13.5 RA. And I'm going to go directly from the top. We also are going to add in Danny Wolf under rebounds of 6.5. Both of those plays are still up there. We're going to add in Devin Carter over RA of 7.5. Getting that added. We are also going to add in Sabonis over 11.5 RA. We're not going to add that because we have Carter, excuse me. Let's give this a quick refresh. We don't want to have two players from the same team, both over RA. If Sabonis was under and Carter was over, that would be amazing. But yeah, let's get this Collier play over PRA added. He's actually set one higher on FanDuel. He's also set one higher on PrizePicks, Underdog, Dabble. So that's pretty good. Let's get Collier in there. Over 29.5 PRA. He's probably going to play the entire game too. He's been doing that lately. He's a psychopath. And last but not least, let's get this Kevin Porter Jr. play added as well. Better odds from both FanDuel and DraftKings, which are the two sharpest when it comes to setting their NBA player prop markets, than DiVincenzo under RA. So we'll get Kevin Porter over assists added of 6.5, and that's going to be our 5 flex slip. 5 flex slips on Betr, best bang for your buck, exact same payouts as PrizePicks. It's just if you go 3 for 5 on Betr, you get a 0.5 times return opposed to a 0.4 times return like you get on PrizePicks. So better bang for your buck on Dabble. On Betr. So we have Banchero under 13.5 RA, Danny Wolf under 6.5 rebounds, Devin Carter over 7.5 RA, Kevin Porter Jr. over 6.5 assists, and then last but not least was Collier over 29.5 PRA. I just want to see where that went. Did the odds tank? Give me 1 second. We might remove it. Yes, we're going to remove it. So FanDuel actually came down to match DraftKings. I thought it might be the opposite. So we're going to remove Collier, and we're going to get Daron Sharp under 10.5 points. So we'll add Sharp under 10.5 points, and that will be our last leg here. 50 to win 500 for myself. Make sure you guys are managing your bankroll properly when it comes to tailing these slips. Betr slip added. I will go ahead and view my entry, copy it so that you guys can see what it looks like. Give me 2 seconds. I'm not going to edit any of this out. Give me 10, give me 9, give me 8, give me 7, 6, 5, so you guys can see this slip. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so that is our Betr slip. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you took something from it. Again, if you are new and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please go ahead and do so. Throw a like on this video so I can do the $50 giveaway. And then make sure you turn on that notification bell so whenever I do post these daily picks, you can go ahead and tail them before anything gets bumped or removed. Just like we saw with that Okoro points player prop. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next video, and let's cash.